And we begin at 11 with all of Oregon's inmates now off of death row. Thank you for joining us. I'm Laurel Porter.
And I'm David Molko. The governor today announced she's commuting the sentences of all 17 prisoners to life in prison without parole. Let's bring in Alma McCarty in the newsroom. And Alma, there's already been some vocal opposition reacting to her 11th hour move.
David, Laurel, this action comes at the end of Governor Kate Brown's time in office. She granted clemency to those inmates effective tomorrow, saying she believes the death penalty is immoral.
In Oregon, capital punishment is legal. However, it's been years since a state-sanctioned execution, and since then, the death penalty has been further curtailed. Former Governor John Kitzhaber imposed a moratorium in 2011, which was continued in 2015 by Governor Kate Brown. Then, a law passed in 2019 reduced the circumstances in which a death sentence can be imposed.
This is the path that Oregon has been on for the last several years.
Now, as she prepares to leave office, Governor Brown will grant the 17 death row inmates clemency, commuting their sentences to life in prison without the possibility of parole. KGW's Pat Doris spoke with her this week.
I believe that there are many Oregonians that share my values, that it is inequitable, immoral, and doesn't make sense for the state to take a life, particularly when it is irreversible.
Many, like the Oregon Justice Resource Center, applaud the governor's actions, calling the death penalty a failed policy. The nonprofit's executive director writing, Governor Brown made the right choice for Oregon in commuting these death sentences. The facts point toward one conclusion. It's past time for Oregon to end the use of capital punishment. Others are against the move.
Essentially, what the state of Oregon is doing is betraying the moral contract it has with all of its citizens.
Joshua Marquis was the district attorney for Clatsop County for 25 years until 2018. He believes any actions such as this should be up to voters to decide. Portland-based DHM Research surveyed Oregonians over the years, finding many are in support of the death penalty. Their most recent poll from January 2021 showed 28% surveyed strongly support and 33% somewhat support the death penalty for people convicted of murder.
I have been prosecuting murder cases for over 30 years. I have only sought the death penalty in one, and that's generally the way it works. It is a rare penalty that is and should be rarely used, only in the most vicious and heinous crimes.
Governor Brown's commutation means that none of Oregon's current death row inmates could be executed, even if a future governor ended the death penalty moratorium. Governor-elect Tina Kotek has stated that she will keep it in place. We have a full list of those 17 prisoners on KGW.com. Laurel?
Thank you, Alma. Oregon's new gun control measure will remain on hold for now. An Eastern Oregon judge heard more arguments on Measure 114 today. That's the one voters approved last month, requiring a permit to purchase a gun, among other things. After today's hearing, attorneys for the state said the gun permitting system is still not ready to go. Harney County Circuit Court Judge Robert Raccio ruled the delay will remain in place until he receives written notice from the state that they're ready. One gun shop owner testified his issue with the measure is the ban on magazines that hold more than 10 rounds. He claimed he wouldn't be able to sell his store's handguns since many once sold could easily be tampered with to hold more than 10 rounds.
How would that work?
You just drill the rivet out. It's simple. I mean, you could do it potentially even with a pocket knife. Those rivets are aluminum, and you can just scratch it out of there with a pocket knife. And with a hand drill, it takes less than 3 seconds.
Just to note, I'm a single judge over 2 counties, the only one in Oregon, and so I'm moving mountains to make sure that you have an opportunity to be heard, because I understand this is very important to the people of Oregon.
Another hearing is set for Friday that will delve into background checks at gun shows. The court will then issue a final opinion letter by January 3rd.
To a bizarre and what appears to be a random and unprovoked attack when a late-night poker game at a La Center casino turned violent. Now, according to Clark County Sheriff's Office, the suspect, 41-year-old Scott Harmeyer, had just played a hand at the Last Frontier Casino around 11:45 when he suddenly stabbed the man sitting next to him multiple times with a hunting knife. Investigators say the same man went after 2 more people inside the casino and then a 4th in the parking lot before driving off. About 15 minutes later, a deputy spotted his vehicle headed south on I-205.
They were able to get behind it. They tried to stop it. The vehicle fled, so they initiated a pursuit based on everything that we had with that situation. And that pursuit went on for about 5.5 minutes. They were able to take advantage of the vehicle slowing down. They did a pursuit immobilization technique, which is essentially they spun the car out in order to get it stopped.
Harmeyer, who police say is from Vancouver, now faces 4 felony counts of first-degree assault. No word on any possible motive here. All 4 victims are expected to survive. 3 of them have been released from the hospital.
Tonight, a family is pleading for a murder suspect accused of killing his girlfriend to turn himself in. 27-year-old Catherine Mulbach was found dead Friday afternoon in Powell Butte Nature Park. Her boyfriend, 43-year-old Jose Caraballo, is accused of her murder, and Portland police say they think he's left the area. We've shown you this photo of Caraballo and his distinctive tattoos. Authorities say he and his family have connections in California and Mexico. Today, we spoke with Mulbach's sister. She says her family had just started to understand how unhealthy the relationship was between the two.
We're hurting, and right now our focus for Catherine is to find Jose and bring justice to her, for her and for her children.
The family has started a GoFundMe to help support Mulbach's 2 young children. Crime Stoppers is offering a $2,500 reward for information leading to Caraballo's arrest.
Tonight, a Clark County family is grieving the loss of their 4 pets, their home, and all of their belongings destroyed in a house fire. The owners, who are both first responders, are used to helping others, and as Catherine Cook reports, it is now their turn to receive in their time of need.
Up in flames. Just after 8 Monday night, fire ripped through this home in La Center. Clark County Fire District 10 responded. So did Brandon Miller.
It's pretty surreal to be one of the responders that responds on your own emergency at your own home and be completely helpless.
Miller is a paramedic with North County Emergency Medical Services and a firefighter for Clark County Fire District 13. As he's done on so many calls, he set aside his emotions to focus on his job. At that moment, it was making sure his family was safe. Thankfully, his wife Jax, a critical care nurse, was at work, and his 4 children and bonus son were with family and friends. Everything inside the house was destroyed.
The heartbreaking part was just knowing that our 2 dogs and our 2 cats were in there, and what they probably went through before they passed.
It's the kind of heartache Brandon knows so many fire victims have dealt with before. Emotions he's had to compartmentalize, now laid bare.
I will never look at fire the same way ever again. This has brought a whole new meaning to looking at the bigger picture in the future for what I do.
Loved ones started a GoFundMe account to help Brandon and his family get back on their feet. Before insurance kicks in, there are clothes to buy and other day-to-day items no one thinks they'll lose overnight. There's also Christmas to think about, especially for the little kids.
We told them this morning that, the house is gone and the animals were lost and all of the Christmas presents were destroyed, and they took it far better than I expected.
Brandon and Jax are grateful for the love and generosity so many have already shared. But most of all, they're grateful for what the fire didn't take.
Well, the main thing is our family is safe and we're all together. So, just take it day by day. That's all we can do.
Investigators are still looking into what caused the fire, but it doesn't appear to be suspicious. Brandon and Jax say their employers have both stepped up to cover their shifts for the next 2 weeks. Just one more thing they're thankful for, and of course we'll share the link to their GoFundMe page on KGW.com. Laurel.
Oh, well, I know this community, and it's going to step up, I'm sure, to come to the aid of his family, especially during the holidays.
Yeah.
Thank you, Catherine. Let's get you caught up on tonight's other headlines. Tualatin Fire says improper disposal of fireplace ashes caused this apartment fire in Beaverton. These are photos of crews battling the blaze that damaged the two-story building on Southwest Davies Road this morning. Fortunately, the 20 people who lived in the damaged 8 units got out safely.
An Amtrak train hit a semi-truck this morning in southeast Portland. Take a look at the damage to the trailer wrapped around a pole there. This was on Southeast Clay near Water Avenue. The railroad crossing barriers were down at the time it happened. It appears the truck may have been moving slowly and didn't make it through the crossing before it was hit. Fortunately, nobody was injured.
And a recount in Washington's 3rd congressional district is set to begin on Thursday in Clark County. Republican candidate Joe Kent requested the recount after losing to Democrat Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez. The Secretary of State's office reported Gluesenkamp-Perez won by 2,600 votes, which is not enough to trigger an automatic recount. So Kent's campaign has to pay for it. Each county in the district will have to participate in this process.